talking about my favorite thing today, presets. While I eat my favorite thing, pizza and presets. Oh, hot. What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here. Welcome back to another video, and today is the day everyone has been emailing me about the presets version 2. They are now available. They are linked below. I wanted to go through the entire pack and teach you guys how to edit banger photos in Lightroom with one click and small adjustments using presets, how to install them. I should also just mention thank you so much to everyone that's supported me and picked up these products. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to both me and my family, so thank you very much. I work very hard on these. I haven't put out a preset pack since last year. It was last year in the summer. And presets aren't something that I just want to roll out over and over and over and over and over again, because the presets that I put out are my style. So when you purchase this new pack, if you've been to my Instagram account in the past, I would say like half year, all of the edits that you see on my Instagram account, like right here, like you guys saw last time, all of those are using these new presets. Now, on top of just color adjustments, which presets are typically shifting colors and all that stuff to give you a certain aesthetic, this new one, I've also done a whole bunch of little adjustments that'll help your photos just get tweaked fast, but don't actually mess with the colors. So stuff like shadow recovery and highlight bumps and sharpen and contrast, all that stuff. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to use presets with Lightroom, the photos that presets are gonna work best with, and basically get you up and running in no time. It's very important that you know one thing about presets, and the outcome of a preset applied to any photo is going to heavily depend on the quality of the photo you took before you applied the preset. If you have a photo that was poorly exposed in camera, it's not even, the shadows are way too heavy, and it's just not a very good photo. So then if you take a very well exposed and even exposed photo in camera, when you bring that into Lightroom and you run a preset on it, almost every preset that you run on it will look good because that photo was taken properly at the beginning, the source. So if you get it wrong right at the start, it's not going to look good through the end of the preset editing process. Sometimes you can run a preset on a kind of meh photo, and you can do a lot of tweaking to that preset after the fact, and you can readjust shadows and readjust all these things, and you can kind of save it or kind of get it to the point where you're like, all right, that looks better. And the goal with presets is essentially like a one-click edit. You throw a photo into Lightroom, you choose which one you like the best, you maybe make a couple adjustments from there, you crop, export, peace out, have a great day. I wanted to start that off by basically saying the end result is going to heavily depend on how good you are as a photographer and the photos that you take before you even get to editing them in Lightroom. Let's just get straight into this. Once you've got them, they will look like this. You will have a folder called P. McKinnon Fall 2018, and inside this folder, you will see XMP files. Here's some very important information with regards to any presets from this point on. Lightroom updated to 7.5. That is the latest version. Make sure you are updated because they've moved all of the preset files to a new file type. They used to be called .lr template, and those were the preset file types. Now, Adobe has made those .lr template files, we've made them into .xmp files. And the reason they've done that is because now these preset files, these .xmp files, you can use them both in Lightroom, Photoshop, and Camera Raw. Before, the LR template files, you could only use those presets in Lightroom, but now they've opened it up to the rest of their photo editing apps, which is pretty cool. And then when you update, it automatically changes all those files over for you. So if you were to kind of go back into the folder and find all those old presets, they would be XMP files now. So the files you're getting from me today are XMPs. The only caveat, the difference is they're going into a different folder now. So if you have that updated version of Lightroom, which is 7.5, and you've just downloaded these files, this is where you're going to install these presets, and this is how you get to that folder. Fire up Lightroom. You're gonna go to the top, right at the top left corner here, click Lightroom, click About Adobe Photoshop Lightroom. Make sure that's the 7.5 release. Make sure you're right there, you're on the right track. If it's not, update. Come back up to Lightroom, go over to Preferences. From Preferences, under the Presets tab here, you're gonna have Show Lightroom Develop Presets, Show All Other Lightroom Presets. Those are two buttons you can click. Now, I've seen where sometimes people only have one button. It doesn't really make a difference. You can still get to the same folder. You're gonna click Show Lightroom Develop Presets. That's gonna open this Settings folder. You'll notice it's already highlighted. On top here, the root folder is Camera Raw. So when you double click on Settings in this folder, This is where you're gonna actually drop my new preset folder. So you'd come over here to your desktop where all your presets are, and you would drop them right in here. But just in case, presets, let's click the other one, show all other Lightroom presets. This opens up where you used to put them in. Lightroom's highlighted, you double click Lightroom, you click on develop presets, and then all your folders would be in there nice and tasty crispy. But that is for the .lr template files, so we're not gonna be putting them in there, we're gonna put them in the other one. Grab my new PM Fall Pack 2018, drag that right in there, Bob's your uncle, ready to go. So what you're gonna wanna do now, close out of this, close out of this, close out of Lightroom, you're gonna shut it down, you're gonna restart it. When you restart it, those Lightroom presets should be installed. Let's fire Lightroom back up. Okay, so Lightroom starts up. You've got your photos here. Over on the left side of the screen, you can see presets. You drop that down, and we should have, boop, PM Fall Pack 2018. We expand that, and you see this entire drawer of all of these tasty, delicious presets, and I know you're probably already clicking them. You've skipped ahead, and let's go through these one by one, starting with my adjustment presets. So let's pick a photo that has, you know, a little bit of a exposure, there's some weird stuff going on. Let's take a look at this one here of me in the mountains. Now, it is a beautifully exposed shot. You can actually see the mountains in the background. It was very foggy. You can still see the detail on my jacket. I'm a little dark, so you could start by checking out these shadow adjustments. So you can see right away, if you just hit soft shadow adjustment, you hover over it, it's gonna bring up those shadows. These are my toolkits. These are the things I like to run first or after. Sometimes this is all I do. I just hit a few of these and then I just tweak some stuff on the right panel, and I don't even use the color presets, but that's what I've put these here for before you do anything else. Aside shadows, you've got highlight bump, you've got the highlight recovery, you've got 3 different versions of film grain, 35mm and medium format film grain. You have a sharpen and refine if you want to kind of blow out those edges and just make everything a little more tasty and crispy, if you will. Moving on to editing a photo with the color presets that I have right below the adjustment presets. This photo is exposed great. This is a perfect example of almost every preset looking awesome. So if we just run through them, this one is called Dawn. I really like this one, but you can see it's lifting the shadows. That looks great. We can see way more of the snowflakes that were falling. Amazing. We come down to Dusk, which is gonna be a lot of the opposite. Everything's really muted and earthy. I love this preset because it looks great with architecture and cities. It looks great with portraits. It's kind of like a great all-arounder. Moving back down to Elemental. A little more earth tones on this, a little bit brighter, as you can see. That looks great. Almost all of these look amazing. Ember is a little more of like a fiery kind of orange with soft highlights, pastel palette, if you will. This looks great for fall. It looks great on landscapes. This one's my favorite. I mean, they're all my favorites. That's why I kind of narrowed it down to these specific ones that you're seeing in this pack. Moving on to Genesis Black and White. It feels like a fine art photograph, like an old black and white that maybe you find in your grandfather's shoebox rifling through the attic. We got the Louise preset, named after Lake Louise. I love this one. It's got a bit of that teal flavor to it. It's a little bit brighter. This looks great with portraits. Louise and Moraine are kind of the same. Moraine is a little bit more dark, and you'll see where this really shines with portraits. It's kind of cool that all of the presets look great on one photo that's beautifully exposed. North is like Moraine, but a little bit brighter with more contrast. Kind of has that Banff Mountain, Glacier Lake vibe to it. You have O'Hara, which is named after Lake O'Hara. It's gonna kind of pop those oranges a little bit more, so if you are shooting anything with color, specifically yellow and orange, it's really gonna make those things shine. So kind of like this photo right here, boop, that I took of this cabin at Emerald Lake. This is the before, that's the after, and that's using O'Hara. Overload is for the photos that are really underexposed, and you just need to overload that shot fast. You're gonna select this preset, it's gonna pump those shadows right up. It's gonna reduce the noise with heavy luminance, kind of smoothing out those edges. It's a very few and far between preset. I don't use this one, and I'll be honest, I don't use it often, but there are times where I've been shooting at night and the overload preset has saved an image and made it into just an absolutely incredible shot. All right, Red October, as the name would suggest, great for fall photos. Browns, yellows, deep greens, reds. It's really gonna kind of punch those out. Right here on this one, it's making it a little bit too dark because we don't really have fall colors. But if we were to go over to, you know, a fall shot like this, where I'm holding a camera, when you click on Red October, you can see it really makes those fall colors pop. Love that. Let's go back to this shot here. Six side. This is like my urban city architectural concrete preset. So if you are a street photographer, you're an urban photographer, you find yourself in these urban environments and it's wet, it's been raining, whatever, anything in the city that looks kind of concrete, six side is a great preset for that, as well as Skyfall, the one right below it. If you check that one out, it's kind of like a little more of a muted version of six side. So those two, if I'm ever shooting in a city or if anything is urban and built up, six side and Skyfall are the ones that I'm going to go to first. Moving on right down to the end, you've got whiteout. Obviously, I love to shoot snow conditions. So when I'm in mountains and we're driving around, whiteout is a fresh option for me because it really just makes it look like a snowy winter wonderland. It just whites everything out. Love that one. And then we're finishing it off with Wolf's Wood, which is one of my favorites. Told you I was gonna say that over and over. If you're shooting anything that's green, if you're in a forest, I don't know where else, but heavy green tones in a photo, Wolf's Wood is just gonna destroy it in the best way possible. We're hanging out in Ireland. You can see this photo right here. We just hover over Wolf's Wood. Look how it changes those greens. That's without it, that's with it. Really, really nice tonality, if you will, on those greens. It's a very moody preset. I mean, you can go over to this photo here, which is total fall, Wolf's Wood on that. Again, it looks great. It just gives such a moody vibe to it. And lately I've been trying to edit with more kind of mood in my tones so that when you look at the photos, you just feel something. You're like, wow, that just feels warm and inviting, and I just want to be in that forest with that camera. That's what I've been trying to kind of search for, and that's what I've tried to deliver in this preset pack. That is the adjustment presets and the color presets. You can see, again, a very nicely, evenly exposed photo is going to edit very well. If we were to zoom in on Maddie's face here, there's a little bit of loss of highlights on his face, so we could come over to one of the highlight recovery. That's going to bring it right down. You can see how that, play with the shadows if you wanted. But for me, it looks pretty good straight out of the camera. Wolf's Wood on this photo, very dramatic, very moody. I think maybe Louise would look great on this. Moraine would look great on this. I'm a big fan. The best part of a new preset pack is just grabbing like 5 to 10 of your favorite shots, running down that sidebar and just seeing which ones speak to you the most. Here's another example of a photo that's exposed well. The sky is not blown out. The water is not blown out. I am even. So when you run down these presets, the same thing, dawn, dusk, elemental, that one looks incredible. I love that one a lot. If you use Louise on Lake Louise, it's a little more white. You've got Moraine, you've got O'Hara, like they all kind of have Wolf's Wood down at the bottom. They all have a very specific, characteristic to them, and you'll pick your favorites just like I have. Here's an example of a photo that kind of sits in between like a very well exposed shot and kind of like a poorly exposed shot. So if you look at this forest here, it's exposed well, but there are some dark parts in this area of the photo, that sky up there could be a little bit blown out. So when you do apply presets to this, they're gonna probably come out a little bit darker, which means then you might have to come over to the adjustments tab and start kind of tweaking things a little bit. If I apply Red October, you can see it just looks kind of mushy and it just kind of crushes everything a little bit too much. That's because my exposure in this forest was not as good as the forest that I did with Maddie. So I'd probably come over here to the adjustments tab, try to lift up those shadows a little bit, see where the exposure looks a little bit better, bring down those highlights, lift the whites, lift the blacks almost all the way up to the top there. Make sure clarity isn't making those trees too sharp. Bring those highlights down a little bit, and you can see right off the bat that already looks a lot better with just a few minor tweaks. So that is what I wanted to really convey when it comes to presets, is just because you click it once doesn't mean it's gonna be the best, most magical photo you've ever seen in your life. That is the hopes, but sometimes, depending on how it was shot, it needs a little love. These are a little TLC on the right side there. Don't forget that. Here's an example of just like a one-click preset that just like, it just works. So like, I know this photo looks great with Moraine. I click on that, I'm happy. I'm good to go. I might like bring down the exposure slightly, but other than that, before and after, with one click of a preset, that would go on my grid today. In fact, I think I might do that. If you're doing something like Red October on this Lake Louise shot, it looks great. It might be like a little bit too much blue. You can come down to the HSL tab over here, select that, and you can kind of lessen the saturation of that blue if you want to tweak these. If you like the colors, but you might think to yourself, that might look just a little bit down, just a slight boop, 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 slight drag down. That's how you're gonna do that HSL tabs. But I have tried to develop these so that they work almost every single time with one click for you. Should you take a beautiful photograph, which I'm sure you guys are going to. Tag me in those, tag me. So that is kind of a quick overlook of the presets, how to install them, how to use them, and get them ready to go in your updated Lightroom version 7.5 using those new XMPs. Super pumped on that. That is everything I can offer you on presets and the new fall 2018 pack. I really hope you enjoy it. If you want to know what I'm talking about or you want to purchase it, you want to link right to it, there's a link at the very top of the description if you just scroll down a little bit. Also on my banner, there's always a little link to the shop to download my digital products. So thank you so much to everyone that's supported me and is interested enough in the stuff that I'm making and the stuff that I'm teaching and I'm doing to go and financially support this cause. So thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy these. So if you're gonna start editing these photos and posting them on Instagram and all the social platforms that you like to use, so if you do support me and pick up these presets, please tag me so we can continue the conversation and I can actually, be a fan of your work. I would love that. You do me that solid, it's appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. It was a long one. That is today's video. Thank you so much. Again, links below. Hit that like button if you like this video. Smash it if that's something that you're into. 2018 style. October style. It's almost my birthday, don't forget. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys next week. I think we're doing the GoPro video next week. Well, let's do the GoPro video next week, because that thing is, yes. Have fun with the presets. And the lantern fell and it cracked and the oil went all over the ground and then it caught fire, and that's with the Ember preset. I can just get so carried away so fast. It's just this, it's like fireworks.